What's good? Back again with another reaction. Hey, Christmas is coming up, so I'm saying hopefully y'all are in the spirit. Then, anyways, go ahead and get your ready. In this video, we're gonna be talking about ESTG and the secret war that ended EST Lou Mike. Allegedly, I don't know. That title seems kind of crazy, but anyways, is EST versus Hblocc. That's how I say it, right? Anyways, go ahead and grab your ready. I know I just said that, but grab it again and just spark it back up. You know what I'm saying? My bad if I sound a little stuffy. I don't know why I got allergies, and it's about to be winter. It don't make no sense. Anyways, let's get on to the video. Let's check it out. You know what I'm saying? Bro, play.
Bro, imagine being a multi-platinum artist with worldwide recognition. You spent years in the trenches selling everything from CDs to fence bricks just to make it out of your situation. But unfortunately, as you get bigger, you're unable to leave that life behind you because your ops are on an all-out war with no end in sight.
Shots rang out in the 900 block of Baxter Avenue last night.
Shooting after a concert was gang-related.
Unfortunately, this is the very real life and situation ongoing in Louisville, Kentucky with a rising rap artist named ESTG and his clique called the Shiners. Unfortunately for them, it's been a rough couple of months with several high-profile murders. And what was supposed to be a moment of redemption after finally getting allowed to perform in his hometown after years, after the FBI investigations and a ban by the Louisville Police Department, ESTG suffered an incredible loss after his manager was shot and killed outside of the Summer Jam concert in the city just several months ago. However, fast forward.
I remember that, bro. That's crazy. Shout out to ESTG, shout out to Kentucky, shout out to Louisville. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing your thing. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. Try to stay out the streets. If y'all got that buzz going, you know what I'm saying? Get your money, bro.
To several days ago, and it looks like his ops have spun again, this time claiming the life of another up-and-coming artist on his team. Tragedy is struck yet again when his artist EST Lou Mike was unfortunately gunned down as well just 2 days ago. This ongoing situation is insane, but it's the products of a years-long beef with a rival gang in Louisville that is no stranger to high-profile shootings.
This video is a little bit old, I think, 4 months ago, so we catching up, you know what I'm saying?
And crash out activity. Man, they even make whole songs detailing how they're gonna murk everyone, bruh. Today we gotta get into ESTG's secret war in Louisville and the group called Hblocc that's hell-bent on his destruction right now. We're gonna get into this right now, man, but before we do, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100K subs. Make sure you tap into that. Hit that link in the description at staysafeworld.com to go cop some merch, and make sure you hit that notification. Ongoing situation with EST and Hblocc has a very dark and disturbing story. It has claimed multiple lives over the years, including the lives of both steppers and innocent bystanders such as children. Shit might almost have claimed ESTG's life himself, and he was a victim of a shooting a couple years back. In my eyes, it seems like this ongoing situation could play a major part in the reason why the FBI was previously investigating ESTG and his associates a couple years back. I mean, that or also could be the constant claims of dealing massive amounts of fentanyl in his songs, but that's a story for another day. This beef, like many other beefs in the rap world, have a deeper story, and we gotta talk about it, but in order to get to it, we gotta go back to the jump to even understand how things got this deep with bodies dropping on both sides. It all starts with ESTG. You see, ESTG, or his real name George Albert Stone, was born in the Clarksdale Project neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. His family, like many others at the time, moved from the Clarksdale Projects to an area of South Louisville called Newburgh. You see, Newburgh was one of the first historically black neighborhoods in the city, so many of the residents felt they could raise their kids in a better environment moving out towards a suburb type area. But it was always known as more quiet compared to other parts of the city, but gang-wise had its hustlers and dealers in its area. Growing up at that time off the 5500 block of Riata Drive, ESTG was a star football player with aspirations to make it to the NFL, going from high school to eventually playing at JUCO, which then led him to an opportunity at Stephen F. Austin University in Texas. He would go on to try out at NFL Combine, but didn't have any success, so he decided to get knee-deep in the streets. Using his connections in various states that he made from jumping from school to school, he was able to start moving loads across the country and back to Louisville, making mad bread along the way. Forming the clique EST, or Everyone Shines Together, or the Shiners as they're also called. Unfortunately, this newfound money play would get him caught up and he would get arrested. When he was down and needed someone to bail him out though, an old friend from his high school days by the name of Wild G Peso would bail him out and convince him to focus on rapping. This connection would be very important to the ongoing beat.
I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, bro, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think him and ESTG ended up they ended up splitting because something happened where they had to either they had to choose a side or something like that. I remember hearing about this a while back, but let's go ahead and get back into the video.
Beat that goes on today. You see, YOG Peso along with Hblocc Duke are associates from the Homeless Street area of the West End. At first, these groups were all cool with each other between Hblocc and EST. They both were making a name for themselves in the rap scene, spending long nights at the studio for the come up. It was one of these nights in the studio though that would cause a close-knit group of friends to become mortal enemies for years. On July 8th of 2019, the first victim of many would end up losing their life when a disagreement between the two groups turned into a full-out altercation. In the heat of the moment, Hblocc member Big O would unfortunately be gunned down, starting a demonic feud between two of the most active gangs in Louisville. Several months after this incident, his ops would try to spin in retaliation on ESTG, and it almost worked. ESTG was hosting a music video with Sada Baby when his ops pulled up and shot him over 5 times, 4 times in the stomach and once in his left eye. He unfortunately survived this attempt on his life and kept pushing his...
Damn, bro, 4 times in his stomach and once in his left eye? What the fuck? Can bro see still? Damn.
Music. But it's safe to say that after this gruesome incident, he wasn't gonna just let anything slide. And the get back for him would cause a huge amount of controversy with a hit gone wrong that blew up on the news, which we'll get into in chapter 2. The murder of a respected Hblocc member and his daughter caught in the crossfire. On August 14, 2020, one of the most crash out incidents I've ever seen in my life would go down, and would just continue the all-out war that's going on in Louisville. Brandon Waddles, aka the real Lil B, would be at his family home with his 3-year-old daughter, Trinity Waddles, chilling while she was playing.
Shout out 1090 Jake, but he did a video on this. I remember that, bro.
In her frozen playhouse. Unfortunately for them, all hell would break loose when a car would slowly creep up in the alley. Someone would get out and fire multiple shots into their house, killing them both. You see, Brandon Waddles had close ties to Hblocc and had been getting into a crazy and very federal IG Live feud with a crazed out shooter named Kevin Lawless.
What time catch you, boy? Yeah, and I said it on live. What, you said something, I've been drinking. Hey, you ain't on nothing, bro. Look at he mad now, he no dance.
On IG Live, that would later be played in court, Waddles would be seen taunting Lawless with a Draco, basically saying he can't wait till he sees him, and brings up Lawless's dead friend. It seems karma eventually got to him when him and his daughter were unfortunately slain. At the time, no one knew the ties that Kevin Lawless had to any other gangs in the city, but people soon became hip to the fact that he had close ties with ESTG, when a company owned by ESTG and one of his managers, Eric Mosley, would pay over $100,000 to bail out the accused killer Kevin Lawless. Really, it was apparently a collusion between Atlantic Records because they had an A&R and ESTG's company that footed the bill, with the A&R allegedly being the person who signed for it. This would get the FBI on ESTG's radar, and his manager Eric Mosley, along with many other EST associates, would get arrested in a takedown in 2021.
Cash and the FBI, the manager behind Louisville rapper ESTG, gets busted by the feds. The news of Eric Mosley's arrest brought Trina Waddles to tears.
It's a hard thing to even get over.
Waddles is the great aunt of 3-year-old Trinity Randolph and the aunt of the child's father, Brendan Waddles. Our troubleshooter investigation found Mosley and ESTG, or George Stone, paid $135,000 to bail out Trinity's accused killer.
Well, many thought that this takedown would take many shooters off the streets and calm the violence. It was far from the case, because a recent slew of violence would continue with multiple people dying on both sides. The most recent being a very close member to ESTG, which we'll get into in chapter 3. Following the raid on ESTG in 2021, there were several shootings that took out the friends of EST and Get Back that would also take out members of Hblocc. Ever since EST's infamous FBI raid, the police basically banned ESTG from performing in the city out of fear of retaliatory shootings. Several years later, the city finally agreed to let ESTG perform at a Summer Jam concert with huge headliners. I guess they thought the amount of people that this event would bring would outweigh the safety concerns. The city agreed to it, and even though a heightened police presence was there to ensure that nothing crazy would go down, something definitely went down. ESTG's booking manager would be gunned down right outside the venue.
The ESTG Summer Jam concert was held behind me here at the Yum Center on Saturday, but LMPD's concern and warnings about gang violence connected to the concert started much earlier this year. Louisville police had extra officers outside the KFC Yum Center for Saturday's concert. These are some questions WDRB recently submitted to LMPD's interim chief Paul Humphrey regarding ESTG. What concerns did the department have before the event? The response, Mr. Stone's validated gang member status and the ESTG gang's involvement in prior violent crimes that have taken place in our community, paired with the information we received.
So to reiterate back, the reason why they're really looking at ESTG and his quote-unquote organization as a gang, right, is that the FBI is trying to stamp them as that, was because of that whole, like they just mentioned, the whole A&R thing. And the last thing you want to do is put your name or your company on something that has to do with the crime, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to get eyeballs on the target on you and your people and all that. So, but then, like I said, was he really bro? But yeah, I mean, that's just how they play too, as well as if they can't get you, they're going to get the guy next to you, bro. That's the guilty association that I always be talking about. And RP to his uncle, you know what I'm saying? I mean, his uncle. RP to his manager, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Received leading up to the concert is the reason extra security was put in place. Humphrey also told us police shared concerns with the Yum Center as early as April. We also asked, is there a connection between the concert and the homicide that happened several blocks away? LMPD said George Albert Stone III, or ESTG, and the homicide victim Devontae Beach are validated gang members.
Devontae Beach, aka EST Big Beach, was sitting outside the KFC Yum Arena in his car when shots would ring off, claiming his life. The shooting occurred on the 800 block of West Main Street, with EMS pronouncing Big Beach dead at the scene. They've yet to have any suspects coming out, but many pointed to the ongoing situation with Hblocc as the main reason for his death. Regardless, it remains to be seen how he was posted up in the block and didn't notice anyone coming up to his car, as well as how would these would-be shooters know exactly what car he was sitting in. It was a lot of random and strange questions. Even though this would happen, bloodshed would not stop there, with another high-profile shooting happening just 2 days ago that claimed the life of another EST member, which we'll get into in the final chapter, chapter 4. It's crazy that words from a song could be an ominous foreshadowing to your untimely death. When Hblocc Duke would rap that Lil Mike almost got whacked and ain't get back, ain't wanna beef with us, bro, he took that seriously, because honestly enough, EST Lil Mike would be gunned down just 2 days ago.
It was a violent night in the Highlands. 2 are dead and another is injured in an overnight shooting. It's our top story here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. Police say shots rang out in the 900 block of Baxter Avenue last night. WHAS 11's Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester have the latest update.
Violence late Saturday night in the Highlands, a shooting that left 2 dead and 1 injured.
Here on the 900 block of Baxter Ave, questions still remain over the precise location of the violent incident. But what we do know is that Highlands bargoers are shaken up.
Officers were called to the 900 block of Baxter Avenue around 1:45 a.m. on reports of shots fired. 1 man was found dead at the scene. 2nd man was taken to U of L hospital where he died. Later, police were notified by hospital staff of a 3rd man who had taken himself to the hospital after being shot. He's expected to survive. Unfortunately, one of the men who were killed was apparent Shiner member EST Lou Mike. EST Lou Mike had a documented history of dissing as well. Bro even had a song called like Piss on Your Grave or something like that. Bro was going crazy, and honestly the scene in Louisville is one of those scenes that kind of remind me of like the Chicago drill scene, especially with this dude Hblocc Duke basically going out of his way dropping mad ESTK diss tracks and everything. Seems that he's hell-bent on ending these dudes. I mean, this whole situation is full of just crash outs, full of just sacrificing it all, you know, murking people and innocent bystanders, but it's stuff that they rap about, and it just goes to show, man, even when you're big and successful, it doesn't even matter. You shouldn't even stay in your own city because people are looking to end you. I don't know why if you were in EST that you would still be in the city at all. Like, I don't think anyone from that group should still be in the city, especially with all the fame that you have, you know. Let them have that. I mean, I understand that a lot of your family is there and there's a lot of things that you don't want to leave behind when you go to like New York or LA or Atlanta or something like that, but man, it's not worth it. You see one by one these people are getting taken out, and I'm sure that there's people getting taken out on both sides because it's just a destruction of a community. But one side is obviously super famous, so everyone's going to see that on the news, and the other side is just kind of not as big, but definitely making a name for themselves. So I'm sure that there's stuff happening on both sides, but it's just unfortunate, and it's a crazy situation that the FBI somehow overlooked years ago, and I wonder what's going to happen now if there's...
Yeah, and like I said, that's crazy. I'm going to end it there, but you know, RP to everyone on both sides, especially that little girl that got innocent, you know, innocent bystander. And that really happens. It's a casualty, bro. It's a casualty of what results of being in the streets. it's real. It's real. The streets are cold. You know what I'm saying? They don't forgive. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say it, bro. Like, if you're part of EST and you're watching this video, bro, I'd take that advice of him. And I say move out, get your money, get your people out if you can. Try to stack and make more money and just make it out, bro. Like, you don't gotta be there trying to prove a point, because at the end of the day, it's just bragging rights. Think about it. It's just bragging rights, bro, and it's a young man's game, and a lot of people in EST are probably around my age, you know what I'm saying, 30, 29, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us ain't really at this age, bro. We ain't out there crashing out like that no more. We ain't out there doing none of that, bro. We chilling, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I hope, you know what I'm saying, I hope they just focus on the music and get their money. No more bloodshed, but it's too deep already, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is, and it's reality. It ain't no praying, or it ain't no wishing this or that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just too deep, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those beefs, like bro highlighted, just like Chicago is one of those beefs that's going to get generationally inherited, and it's just going to continue on and keep going. And it's just, that's how it is. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But hey, shout out to both sides. Shout out to EST. I don't know what the other side is called. My apologies, but shout out to them too. Rest in peace to everyone involved. Hope y'all continue to get your money. And with that, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for watching to the end. Squad, gang, we out.